Welcome, everyone, to the Beyond the Buzzer podcast.
Great to be here. We're looking at that under-18 boys grand final from the National Junior Classics.
Yeah, held at the State Basketball Center. What a game that turned out to be.
Absolutely. Let's jump right into that first quarter. Knox, they looked really composed from the tip. Very sharp.
He did. You saw Jarvis Neal get involved early. Farron Langmaid, too. And Logan Hamilton, they got some quick scores.
Right. They were running some, pretty clean offensive sets that helped them build that early cushion.
But Sunbury, they didn't just let Knox run away with it. Alex Gray hit some shots. Angus Palmer, too.
Kept them kind of hanging around, didn't let the lead get too out of hand early.
Exactly. So after that first quarter, Knox was up 16-10.
Okay, then moving into the second, it felt like both offenses started to click a bit more. Things heated up.
Yeah, definitely. For Knox, Nate Langmaid knocked down a pretty clutch three-pointer.
And they kept getting buckets from Fawcett, Neal again, Langmaid, consistent scoring.
But the key thing maybe in that second quarter was Sunbury seemed to tighten things up defensively.
They did. And that seemed to get their offense going a bit more. Sonny Maxwell, he really started to make his presence felt.
Mid-range shots, getting to the free throw line. He was finding ways to score.
And you had Alex Gray contributing again. McGinty putting some pressure on, too. They started chipping away.
Yeah. So Sunbury actually won that quarter, 14 points to 13.
Just edging it. But Knox still held the lead going into halftime. It was 33-24. Still a decent gap.
But then the third quarter happened, and wow, the whole feel of the game just flipped, didn't it?
Completely. Sunbury just cranked up the tempo. You could see Knox looked a bit, rattled maybe?
Yeah.
Out of sync.
Yeah, definitely disrupted. And Sonny Maxwell was just immense in that quarter.
He was everywhere. Slashing to the rim, finishing through contact, constantly getting to the foul line. Just relentless pressure.
And Samuel Hazlitt hit a big three for them as well during that run. That felt significant.
Huge momentum boost. Meanwhile, Knox really struggled to find points. It felt like it was mostly Neal and maybe Gulick keeping them afloat.
Yeah, they just couldn't buy a basket for stretches there.
And Sunbury took full advantage, put up 19 points in the quarter.
19! Enough to completely wipe out that halftime deficit and actually take the lead?
Yep, going into the fourth, it was suddenly Sunbury ahead, 43-42. Narrow lead, but still.
Talk about setting up a finish.
Yeah.
And the fourth quarter delivered. It was just back and forth, like teams trading punches.
Classic finish, yeah. Maxwell, he stayed hot for Sunbury, just kept attacking.
But Knox needed someone to step up, and early in the fourth, Ivan Murick answered the call. Big time.
Oh, yeah. 2 enormous three-pointers from him. Just when they needed it most, kind of swung the momentum back slightly.
Takes some nerve. And then Jarvis Neal, who'd been scoring pretty consistently, he came up really big down the stretch.
That and one play he had was crucial. Tough finish.
But Sunbury, they just kept answering. You had Hazlitt score again. Alex Gray hit some shots. They weren't going away.
No, they made sure Knox couldn't pull away. It stayed tight, really tense.
Then Murick hits another one. His third three of the quarter, just ice in his veins.
Unbelievable shooting. And then Neal gets another bucket late, and you're thinking, okay, maybe that's finally enough for Knox.
Looked like it might be, but nope. Sonny Maxwell, again, hits a massive three with about 45 seconds left.
Made it a one-possession game, just incredible drama.
Then Knox has a chance to seal it. Luke Adekador misses a layup, so Sunbury gets one final shot.
Ball goes back to Maxwell, naturally. Heavily contested look from 3, though, right at the buzzer.
Yeah, really tough shot, didn't fall, and Knox just manages to hang on.
Wow. Final score, Knox 63, Sunbury 60. What a battle.
Incredible game. So looking at the key players, for Knox, you obviously point to Jarvis Neal. So clutch, led the scoring, finished strong.
Definitely. And Ivan Murick stepping up with those 3 massive threes in the fourth. That was a difference, really.
Can't forget Farron Langmaid and Charlie Fawcett either. Their physicality on the boards, that toughness was vital for Knox.
Sure was. And for Sunbury, well, Sonny Maxwell was just phenomenal. Relentless attack, kept them in it almost by himself at times. Scored in so many ways.
Absolutely dominant stretches. Alex Gray also provided key buckets and solid defense.
And Samuel Hazlitt, hitting those timely threes, especially the one in the third, and contributing again late. Big shots.
So if we think about what went right or wrong, for Knox, they obviously closed it out like champions, made the big plays under pressure.
Yeah, and they trusted their guys. Murick and Neal delivered when it mattered most. The downside, though, was that third quarter lapse, letting Sunbury right back in.
Definitely a concern there. And for Sunbury, You have to credit their fight. Incredible energy in that second half to erase the deficit.
Absolutely. And Maxwell was just, well, unstoppable for huge parts of that game. The issue was probably that slower start.
Yeah, digging that early hole just meant they had too much ground to make up, even with that amazing comeback effort. Couldn't quite get over the hump in the end.
Execution in those final moments. Knox just found a way.
We'll thank everyone for listening to the Beyond the Buzzer podcast.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.